Imagine receiving a letter in the mail a few weeks after what seemed like an ordinary visit to the hospital. The appointment lasted less than an hour, the treatment went as expected, and you had health insurance, so the assumption was that the financial impact would be manageable. Then the bill arrives, followed by another bill from a different provider involved in the same procedure, and perhaps another notice explaining that a portion of the treatment was considered out of network. What began as a health concern slowly transforms into a financial problem, forcing difficult decisions about savings, debt, and future medical care. For millions of households, this experience is not unusual. Medical expenses have become one of the most significant sources of financial stress, not necessarily because people are reckless with money, but because healthcare operates within a system that few fully understand until they are forced to navigate it themselves. Part of the challenge begins with psychology. Most people do not think about healthcare spending in the same way they think about groceries, transportation, or housing. Medical decisions are often made under pressure, uncertainty, or fear. When someone is in pain or worried about a loved one, comparison shopping and cost analysis rarely become priorities. The urgency of protecting health naturally overrides the desire to optimize financially. This creates an environment in which consumers have less visibility and less negotiating power than they might have in other markets. Insurance was designed to reduce uncertainty, yet many people discover that coverage does not always eliminate substantial costs. Deductibles, co-payments, coinsurance requirements, network restrictions, and coverage limitations can create layers of complexity that are difficult to predict in advance. Two individuals receiving similar treatments may experience dramatically different financial outcomes depending on the details of their insurance plans. As a result, people who believed they had taken responsible precautions may still find themselves facing significant expenses. The mathematics behind these situations can be surprisingly powerful. Consider a household that encounters an unexpected medical expense of several $1,000s. If emergency savings are limited, the family may rely on credit cards, payment plans, or personal loans to bridge the gap. Interest charges can extend the financial consequences well beyond the original event. A single medical episode can influence cash flow for months or even years, reducing the ability to save, invest, or prepare for future emergencies. The issue is not merely the size of the initial bill, but the way financial obligations compound over time. This dynamic reveals a broader economic principle. Financial resilience often depends not only on income, but also on the ability to absorb unexpected shocks. Households with substantial savings may experience medical expenses as temporary setbacks. Families operating with narrower margins may experience those same costs as life-altering disruptions. The identical event can produce dramatically different outcomes depending on the resources available beforehand. In this way, healthcare expenses highlight how vulnerability is distributed unevenly across society. History offers important parallels. Throughout different periods of economic uncertainty, access to healthcare has repeatedly intersected with broader questions about financial stability. Debates surrounding affordability, insurance structures, and responsibility have evolved over time, yet the underlying tension remains remarkably consistent. How should societies balance innovation, access, quality, and cost? There are no simple answers, and different countries have approached these challenges in different ways. What remains clear is that healthcare systems influence not only physical well-being, but also economic behavior. The psychological effects extend beyond immediate financial strain. Individuals who have experienced costly medical events may delay future care out of concern for additional expenses. Preventive appointments are postponed, symptoms are ignored, and decisions that appear financially rational in the short term may carry health consequences later. The relationship between money and healthcare therefore becomes cyclical, with financial anxiety influencing health decisions and health events influencing financial security. Perhaps the most important shift is recognizing that medical debt is rarely the result of individual failure. Health events are often unpredictable, and the systems surrounding them are extraordinarily complex. Understanding this reality encourages a different perspective, one focused less on blame and more on preparedness, transparency, and informed decision-making. While no one can eliminate uncertainty entirely, greater awareness of how healthcare financing works can help people ask better questions, evaluate available options, and build financial buffers when circumstances allow. Medical bills have become a financial challenge for millions not because health has become less important, but because the intersection of healthcare and economics has grown increasingly complicated. The conversation is not simply about numbers on a statement. It is about how societies manage risk, how individuals navigate uncertainty, and how financial systems shape some of the most vulnerable moments in human life. Understanding these dynamics does not solve every problem, but it does provide something valuable: clarity in a space where confusion often carries a very real cost.